All right, this is, again, 7th grade math 2.2, adding and subtracting decimals, and I'm on page 60. So we'll go to page 60 in your book. You'll see that we're going to talk about the key vocabulary, which in this case is front-end estimation. I was looking ahead there. One of the examples, example number 3 says estimating a sum. So we'll talk about what front-end estimation is real quick here. And you write that vocabulary down, and my board is messing up. So it's over on page 61, front-end estimation, and it says one type of estimation is front-end estimation. To use front-end estimation to estimate a sum, you add the front-end digits and estimate the sum of the remaining digits, then add the results. So front-end estimation is you, and we'll do this in the example, but we'll write it right now, add the front numbers and wait, my pen, that's terrible, sorry, it really doesn't want to work. Add the front numbers, then estimate the remaining. So let's do an example while we're here. Let's just do something like this, $8.59 maybe, plus $9.60, let's say. Okay, so these are what are the front numbers. So you estimate the front numbers. That would be 17. And then these are the end numbers. So 59 and 60, you know, it's a little more than $1, but rounded it makes about $1. So you would add that to the 17 we had. So by using front end estimation, my estimate of that total would be $18. So that is called front end estimation. So let's take a look at the examples, the next part here, adding and subtracting decimals. Decimal operations, it says to use a vertical format to add or subtract decimals. Begin with lining up the decimal places. And the reason why you want to do vertical format is because you do line up your place values that way. And here to see the 13, the decimals got to go right there, so the 3 has to go under the 6. We have to line up those decimal places, and then the 6 right there. And I fill my empty places with zeros. You know, we could have put the 13 on top, I suppose, since there's a commutative property of addition, so it doesn't matter the order, we add. 7, 0, carry the 1, that would be 5. There's my decimal place, 9. So the answer would be 19 and 507 thousandths. And they're doing the same thing. They wrote the 0 as the placeholder, and they got the same answer, even though I wrote all over it. Okay, subtraction, same thing. We take 9, which we have to, in subtraction, the 9 has to go first, so we write that on top. And the decimal on 9 is right here. So we do 5.28. And notice we have to put zeros here. Now here's where you have to be careful. A lot of times people will just make the mistake and just go, oh yeah, that's 8 and that's 2 right away. That's not how you have to do it. Let me get rid of the 8 and that with my little eraser. You can't take 8 away from nothing. So you go over here and you borrow, nothing to borrow. So you go all the way over to the 9, make it an 8. That's a 10, becomes a 9. So 10 minus 8 is 2, 9 minus 2 is 7, and 8 minus 5 is 3. So 9 minus 5 and 28 hundredths is 3 and 72 hundredths. And let's see how they did it. Same thing. Okay, so example number 2. We're going to evaluate a variable expression because we throw some algebra in here. So we're substituting in the values. They're telling us what R is right here, and they're telling us what T is. So we put R in right there, we put T in right there, and I'm just going to write that out so I know which way to go here. 2.14 minus 5.2. Now, it's still order of operations rules still follow when we learned the PEMDAS. So this only thing this has is adding and subtracting. So we go in order from left to right. So I can only do two numbers at once, one operation at a time. 6.7 plus 2.14. By lining up the decimals, I have to add a placeholder. So that's going to be 8 and 84 hundredths, and then I still have to subtract 5 and 2/10, which then I have to add a placeholder. So it comes out to be 3.64. And they substituted the values. They added, just like we did. Then they subtracted. I got 3.64. So example number 3, estimating a sum. For your birthday, you received a $25 gift certificate. You want to buy 3 used video games with the prices as shown. Can you buy all 3 games using the gift certificate? So we're going to use front-end estimation just to estimate it. So you take those front-end numbers, the 8, the 7, and the 7, and you add those. 8 plus 7 is 15, plus 7 is 22. And then you take the end ones, and you know 89 cents is really close to $1. 79 cents is really close to $1. And then 29, you know, I don't know, you could probably put the 29 and the 79 together to make that $1. So really that's not going to be more than $2. So you add 2 more, 24. So I would say yes, you could probably afford those. So let's see how they did it. They added the front end, which is the dollars. There's where they got 22, just like we did. They estimated the remaining, so they put together the 79 and 29 to make $1, the 89 by itself, and then they added those 2 results together. And then we decided yes, you could. So you got to be careful in this lesson to estimate when it says estimate, and then if it does, you know, if it says to estimate, make sure you do it. If it doesn't, you have to find the exact. So here's the guided practice. So line these up. Don't just write answers in the guided practice. This is how I expect to see your work shown on your papers. You're showing me that you're lining up the numbers. You bring the decimal straight down, and it's 11.01. There it is. Number 2, clear off my stuff. We got 1.937 plus 2. Oh, hang on, I didn't line that one up very good. I'm going to let me erase all of them. I'm going to just move it over a little bit here. Let me go over here. 1.937 plus 2.28, and there's my placeholder. 7 plus 0, 8 plus 3 is 11, carry the 1, that's 10, 11, 12, carry the 1. My decimal down, and then let's see if I got away from the answer. There we go. So adding, it's just, all you have to do is remember to line up the decimals, fill those empty places with zeros. Especially on this one in subtracting, make sure you fill your empty places. I mean, I know there's going to be 2 decimal places on 3.74. This is just like the example. I can't subtract, so I have to go over and borrow. It's going to be a 6. 9 minus 7 is 2, and 5 minus 3 is 2. So 2.26, which is correct. Let's try this one. Let's see if I can get it over here. 4.59 minus 3.17. Oh, this is a nice one. Look, you don't even have to do any regrouping. That one's easy. Remember, you can always check your subtraction problems by adding these 2 numbers up. And a lot of times I'll do a quick check. 2 plus 7 is 9, 1 plus 4 is 5, and these make 4. So just a really quick add up to check. And we match. Evaluate the expression when A is 4 and 2/10 and B is 6 and 27 hundredths. So when I put that in, it's 4.2 plus 6.27. My empty place. I didn't want to write 10. 10.47. Yes, so just fun to substitute those in. B minus A, this time I got order is important. 6.27 minus 4.2, and that's going to be a 0, so 7, 0, 2.07, and that's right. Let me get stuff out of the way here. I'm going to write this one all out. 10.03 minus 4.2 plus 6.27. Okay, remember order of operations, we have to add and subtract in order from left to right, so I have to just do these as the order. So I'm going to go 10.03 minus 4.2. Fill my empty place. I don't have to borrow here because 3 minus 0. Got to go over 9, 10, that's going to be an 8 and a 5. I'm going to do a quick check. That's 3, that's 10, carry the 1, 10, it works. Then I add the 6.27. I'm running out of room. That's going to be 10, carry the 1, carry the 1. It's going to be 11, carry the 1, and then that's going to be 12. 12.10. I didn't leave myself a lot of room on there to do that. So 12.1, 12 and 1/10. 8. Get rid of my pins again here. I'm going to start up higher on this one. So I have 4.2 plus 7.8 minus 6.27. So we go in order. 4.2 plus 7.8. You see this should be fast. It should probably take more time to write it than to add. And then minus 6.27. Fill the empty place. Borrow. That's going to be a 9. A 10 minus 7 is 3. 9 minus 2 is 7. Borrow. 11 minus 6 is 5. Let's see if that's right. Yep. So just arithmetic, substituting numbers into the correct places, lining up the decimals, and then checking our work. So then in the guided practice, the last 4 problems say estimate the sum or the difference. And you know, it's different ways to estimate, and it doesn't, you know, I'm going to look in the book here. I don't know if the estimating says use front-end estimation. I'll do a couple of them. I'll do them both ways. Like for example, here's front-end estimation with this one. 3.85 plus 5.21. Okay, front-end, you would add the front numbers, which is 8. You would put these together. 85 cents and 21 cents is about $1. So 8 plus 1 would be 9. So my estimate for that using front-end estimation is 9. Let's do estimation with rounding this time. $3.85 rounds to $4. $5.21 rounds to $5. So it comes out 9. So it doesn't really matter which method you use. It's just FYI for your information. Here's some different ways to estimate. So let's do, I like the rounding, especially in subtraction. I don't think you can do front end. You need to round them in subtraction. So this is going to be close to $6. That's about 3, rounds up to 3. So I say $3, and they agree. So we'll do rounding again right here. 641 rounds to 6. 327 rounds to 3. 196, it's like $1. My pen really doesn't want to work now for some crazy reason. Quit. That one rounds to 2. That's a 3 right there, so 9, 10, 11. Yay. This one let's round first. So if I can find the pen here, that's going to be 8. That's going to be 4. That's going to be 2. 8 minus 4 is 4. Minus 2 is 2. There we go. So we learned how to do front-end estimation. It's okay to use that. I still like to use rounding. Just if they ask you to use front-end, make sure you understand how to do that. And I believe that's it. We'll see you in 2.3.